I have shared my screen once on Jitsi. I believe Miss Angie, you were in that meeting. Okay, if you toggle your mouse down to the bottom left, there's a little monitor right next to a hand symbol. And you share your screen there. So maybe just unclick that.
Okay, that hand is covered up with a note that says live streaming.
Huh.
That says raise or lower your hand.
To the left of that.
Yeah, there's the little monitor.
Okay. I clicked it, and now the multiple faces went away. That screen that was.
Yeah. Now it's just a little default avatar, which is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So Tanya, is like when I gave Marilyn the number and the pin, is that all she has to do is call it and put the pin number in?
Yes. I've tried it out before, and you dial the number, and it prompts you to put in a pin followed by a pound sign, and you just put that in, and it should connect you right in. And it'll be the phone number that was in the email.
Let me go back to the email, make sure I didn't write down anything, wrote it down all correctly. Okay. I've got it correct to her.
David, we can't hear you. Oh.
He may not want us to hear him. Maybe he doesn't want us to hear him.
So David popped up in the chat and said that his mic is not working. So, which if he needs to come join me in the Shakespeare room, he can. We just may look a little weird because we might be looking up.
Well, whatever Adam done to this one, he got it working, so I'm glad.
So how's everyone doing?
Good.
Doing well.
Staying home.
Not echoing in there.
What?
Am I coming through on top of your building?
No,
You sure?
no. Are y'all ready to open up?
I sent her in a text and asked her if she's having trouble.
How many do we have to have? We've only got 3. Is that enough?
Well,
Yeah,
you've
we
got
have enough.
4.
We have 4, counting me, counting Jeannie.
Right.
Okay. Well, oh, okay. Did Marilyn get on?
Hey, Tanya,
Yes.
can I come by and get a book from the library? Can somebody hand it out to you?
Yes. So we're doing curbside pickup right now. What you'll want to do is you can log into your library account and put a book on hold. You'll want to make sure that it is at the Jonesboro location and have your pickup at Jonesboro. And then whenever it's ready, we'll give you a call and schedule a time. Or you could give us a call. We have people here manning the phones, and you can give us a call and say what the book is that you're wanting and that you want to pick it up here.
And which side is the pickup location?
You know where our round room entrance is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's right along there. We have the spaces numbered. And so we assign you a space.
Can I just tell you, why do I have to go through all that?
I might forget.
I'll tell Angie. Has there been any notice of when you all might open?
So right now we don't really have a date. We've kind of looked at what some other libraries are doing, and most of us right now, sorry, we're just waiting on more information. Hi, Mr. David.
Hi.
Can you not get your sound working so you're here?
Nah, I decided to come in here.
Okay. I'm going to pull up the live stream really quickly so I can check comments as we go. So this may take me just a second.
Who's not on there?
Marilyn.
I don't like that. Okay.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, how are you doing?
You look all comfy.
I am.
So
My house being nice and warm. I'm tired of this cold weather.
Oh, I am too.
Who are we waiting on?
Marilyn Garr.
Okay.
So I've texted her asking her if she's having trouble, and she's not responded. So I know we don't have a short period of time to get this
Yeah.
done because of the next meeting.
Okay.
So if y'all want to go ahead and get started, I guess we can because we have a quorum.
I think maybe we need to, yeah.
I agree.
Okay. All right, Dr. Glover, you're on.
I'm going to have to change screens to look at the agenda, but I'll call our regular May meeting of the Poinsett County Library Board to order. It looks like it's about 4:38 p.m. and we're accessing our meeting through Jitsi.
And I think we have to do a verbal roll call just to make sure it's official.
There's Marilyn.
Okay. Let's see. Would you just please state your name so that we can get the verbal roll call?
Johnita Faulkner.
Johnny
Judy
Faulkner is here.
Yes.
Judy Renicky?
Judy Renicky is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeannie Glover is here.
Well, we're going to get started because we only have 20 minutes to do our meeting because of the next meeting, okay? And so maybe we'll have time next time to practice a little bit ahead of time, okay? All right, thank you, hon. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Sorry about that.
And David Eckert and Tanya Riles need to let us know they're here verbally.
David Eckert is here.
Tanya Riles is here.
And then Angie needs to say she's here.
I'm here.
Okay. And then we also need to say that who's absent as well, just to make sure.
And who is on the who else is on the screen?
Well, she's
that's-
on the Craighead.
Janet Griffin, she's just getting prepared for the next meeting.
Okay. Gotcha.
So Marilyn Garr is absent today.
Right.
And also Miss Rhonda Davis.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to have to go look at my agenda on another device, so hang on for a second. Unless, Angie, do you want to tell me what's on the agenda so that we can move from that?
Our minutes from February 10th, 2020.
Oh, does everybody have a copy or has referenced the minutes from February 10th?
I do.
Are
I
there
make a
questions?
motion, we accept the minutes as written.
I second it.
Ms.
Okay, you have to
Rennie,
say your name though, just to make
Okay.
sure.
Sorry. Judy Renicky made the motion.
Johnita Faulkner, second.
and please, please state your name if you vote to approve those minutes. Jeannie Glover approves.
Johnita Faulkner.
Judy Renicky approves.
Okay, I think they passed.
Okay, so that the review of the minutes from our last meeting passes.
Okay, and then you have the financials, I think, are the next thing.
Yes. Are there questions about the financial statement?
Angie, is everything looking good?
It is, the CDs have actually been renewed. The new maturity date is April 20th, 2021. The interest rate is 0.80%.
Whew, okay.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yes.
That seems to be about normal for this time.
Right.
Yeah. But all the collections and all are great. The millage is actually up about, I think, like 15,000 compared to last year, which that is apt to change with all of this going on. You know, I don't know how it'll affect it.
Okay. Nobody's going out to eat, so everybody has extra money to pay their taxes.
Yeah, they all pay their property tax.
There you go. Those that have the spreadsheets, page 4, let's say page 5, that's easier, probably easier to read, to see that that number in red is actually an unemployment figure of $1,517.35. That is actually unemployment benefits that Candace Wong from Lepanto has been receiving, plus a small amount from a Harrisburg sub, which she's only worked probably a week total, so she's not going to receive much. I have also received papers for Teresa Tucker from Marktree and June Long from Lepanto. So we're probably going to be expecting some more to be in that budget line, but they are, we've requested to have some funds appropriated for that line to take care of that, so we won't be in the red, hopefully.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments about the financial statement spreadsheet? Then
Okay.
do I, yes, David.
No, I just said okay.
All right. Do I hear a motion to accept the financial statement?
Johnita Faulkner makes the motion.
Judy Renicky seconds.
All right. So I'll need everyone to vote. This is Jeannie Glover. I vote to accept the financial statement as prepared.
Johnita Faulkner, I vote for the financial report.
Judy Renicky, I vote for it.
Okay, I
And
think it passes.
yes.
Okay.
All right.
And then the only other thing that I think is up on the agenda is Johnita's term expires in July of 2020, but I'm assuming that you're fulfilling Bart's term. So actually, if you want to stay on the board, what would happen is then you would be on the board and it would be your first term, actually.
Okay, that'll
Would
be
that work?
fine.
Yeah, so if,
So this coming up term, the one that begins in July will be actually her first term being served.
yeah, that's the way it works, because you don't, when you take over somebody else's, that doesn't count as your first term.
Okay.
You're literally finishing out their term, and then if you want to stay on the board, then it starts your first term and so on. So,
So
Okay.
does the board need to take any action on that?
Yes, please. Her term for filling in for Bart ends July 2020. And so I guess the motion would be to appoint her till 2020 till 2025, I guess.
actually, I don't think
No?
that we can really make a motion on that, because it has to be approved by the quorum court.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that she does it, but I don't think we have really a vote in the matter at all from the board point of view.
Now, do you just submit her name, Angie, or?
Yeah, you just submit her name and say that she wants to serve, and then the quorum court has to vote her in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't do it first and then the quorum court does it. They do it
No,
first
no.
and then we do it second.
I'm not even sure that we ever have to do it. We really don't have power to do anything
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
We have
I'm sorry to say,
Just
but
accept
So you're
her
giving me
back.
instructions to send a letter to the quorum court requesting her to serve her first term.
that's what we have to do.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Well, note that in the minutes that Angie told us that we're going to request that Johnita fill her first term starting with July. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. It's a 5-year term that'll end in 2025.
Okay. And there wasn't really anything else that you had on the agenda. Was there, Angie, or was there anything that has come up since then, or?
No, sir. There's nothing else. Now, do y'all want to start the meeting earlier than 4:30?
You mean the next time?
In the future, yes.
It's up to you. I mean, I don't know what that meeting, hopefully we could have that maybe face to face, but I don't know. You have it in August. It still might be an online meeting. So that's really up to you. Well, I guess it really depends on whether we have more to cover or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it like it is then. We'll just.
Well, do we need a motion to adjourn?
Can I ask a question though before we adjourn?
Yes,
Angie,
please.
can you tell us, I mean, I know that probably Tanya can tell me this as well, but just so the board knows, who all is open right now and doing the curbside service, and who all is not down in Poinsett County? Who all's doing what there?
I know I am. Tanya, do you know for sure who all is?
Right now, everyone is.
Okay.
Now, they all have, slightly different hours for when they're doing things. So right on our webpage, we just have the phone numbers to all the branches so that their patrons can call and find out what hours they're doing their pickups.
Yeah, I know Wiener is, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Any other discussion before we ask for a motion to adjourn?
Are all of you guys quarantining your material for 7 days? Any material that comes in?
Well, not for 7 days. I'm wiping it all down and then I put it at the end of the counter on the floor down there and it sets for a couple of days and then I shelve it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know whether things are constantly changing. I get it, but we were trying to look online, and the virus seems to last up to maybe 5 days, but that's on really hard surfaces like stainless steel and stuff like that. So we were really, to make the extra precaution, we were setting things up for a week. In other words, we had tables set up with different days of the week, and if we get it in on a Monday, then we're letting it sit there until the following Monday, and then we're checking it in. So we're not really wiping anything down. We're kind of just letting the virus die of its own accord if somebody's handing something in that has the virus. Because I guess we also had the discussion, there's no way to spray down all the pages that are inside.
Mm-mm.
And some of those things can last a couple of days on paper, is the most that I've heard, less than 3 days. So I just didn't know I just didn't want the libraries to end up being the cause of spreading the evil. You know what I mean? I don't, I want to make sure that we're doing all that we can. So, I mean, we've already sort of relaxed the fines and everything, and there's no overdues right now or anything like that. And so nobody's going to get in trouble if it sits there for a while, but you guys might consider keeping it, don't shelve it for a little bit longer.
Okay.
You know
So
what I
we got to go ahead and wipe it down though.
Yeah, I mean, you can still wipe the plastic down, but I still think I would set it maybe for at least 4 days, 5 days. I just think that would be the safest.
Okay.
We're not running the route right now, so I don't know. We haven't had a discussion about starting that up or not yet, but we're just taking it pretty cautiously here. I think it's going to get worse again before it gets better. So we're just trying to be real cautious about how we're doing things. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
Judy will make it.
Okay, Judy Renicky makes the motion that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Wake me up again.
I thought you were asleep.
The motion to adjourn was made by Ms. Renicky and seconded by Ms. Faulkner. Please use your voice to indicate yay or nay on that motion to adjourn.
Judy Renicky, yay.
Johnita Faulkner, yes.
Jenny Glover, yes.
Oh, okay. And then I think you guys are just going to kind of stay on the line. We have about 8 minutes, and then hopefully the rest of the Craighead County
Okay.
people will join in. I see that Miss Griffin has joined us. So
Can you hear me, David?
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Okay. So
I've never used this application before, so I wasn't sure.
I can hear you, but your
Can't see
screen
you.
is
I mean,
frozen. So
yeah,
it's
you're not
not
moving.
you're not moving, but your screen is frozen, and so okay.
Is it still frozen?
Yeah, but but I can hear you, and so that's fine. So
The way I look, you don't need to see me.
okay.
Now, where'd it go?
Uh-oh. I'll be back.
I was wondering if we could slide that down a little bit. We could both get closer to
You gonna move it around?
You and I want to sit side by side and just look at that screen instead of the big one, or what do you want to do? You want to
That's
try to
not
still-
6 foot apart.
Oh.
Angie made me sit in another room.
Will the camera pick us all up then if we put it down? I'm sorry, we're having a discussion here about where to put the computer, but we'll be
Yeah.
back. We're not leaving. We're just putting
Okay.
you on mute here for a second.
We'll be here. Angie, do you need to go on home? Are you going on home?
No, I can wait. I can stay.
I don't mind locking up. I don't care.
It's up to you, where you wanna go.
I don't care. Me either. I'm not making the decision.
This meeting usually don't take me, but I think they are gonna discuss, about reopening.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't wanna listen to that or not, because that will always, and always until later, the decision.
Right.
I don't think they really know a whole lot at this point. I know you're,
The most collection locations. I think I did.
I think if you did, you would only limit it to so many at a time.
Right about here.
I'm sure.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. It's usually not a problem, so it's never a concern.
If you turn
How
everything,
long's this next meeting?
My wife wishes it was
if you turn
sometimes.
everything off, and I'll just lock the door when I go out.
David, can you hear me now? Hello?
I can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Hope you can't see me.
Oh, we lost you. I could see you a minute ago.
Go ahead, turn everything off.
But I'm concerned because none of the Craighead County people,
Excited of that,
except for Janice.
and, go back home.
I'll do
else, there's front door lock,
everything locked.
Everybody should tell me.
Turn off everything you want off.
everything except this spot right here.
Okay. And I'll turn this one off.
So far, right now,
Okay. Is it, there it is. Right,
Johnny is here.
it's locked.
It's locked.
Okay.
And
You make phone, keys.
Okay. Yes, mother.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Thank you.
And then Janice is here. So we have 4. We just need 3 more. Angie is here.
David,
Yes?
I'm gonna go ahead and, leave the meeting. And,
Okay.
because I don't normally stay for this joint board meeting anyway, and so if any.
I know you want to go home and turn online because it'll be a riveting meeting. I know.
Well, Frankie's cooking dinner, and I don't want it to get cold.
Don't blame you.
Oh,
I'm
I
going
thought you were
with,
going to
Yeah.
What?
say you didn't want them to burn it.
I don't blame you, either.
Okay.
Well, it could be that
I'll
too.
go with whatever.
All right, thank y'all so much.
Okay.
Bye, Angie.
Bye-bye.
I do know how to
Bye-bye.
pick 2 or 3 good things, right? As long as I'm limited to those 2 or 3 things, I'm okay. So I'm good.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna get the phone real quick.
All right. Okay.
Johnita,
yes.
we went to Harrisburg, the day that the tornado hit over there. We had went over and met with Bart and got some ferns and hibiscus and all this stuff and got back home. So goodness, it right out there is where I think it blew it away, wasn't it?
Yeah, my goodness.
And they had hit Jonesboro. We were up there picking up groceries, but we
were
went
you?
behind the tornado. So
Oh,
the kids, everybody probably wants y'all to stay at home from now on, being as we're dragging the tornadoes.
So you've been social distancing like me.
Yeah, well, I kind of do it anyway. We're out here where we live. We're very distant.
Sometimes I just get out and ride around by myself.
Yeah, but yeah. So it's a big difference though
Are
when
y'all
you
wearing masks when you go out?
Yes.
when I go in the store, I do.
And I wear gloves to pump gas and.
I
The
haven't
old,
done the gloves. I always forget,
I keep them in my car.
but
So
I've been making masks.
Oh, have you been
Yeah.
making them?
Yes, I've made a bunch.
Well, I had picked up 2 of the, what are they, NP95s or whatever, just for us to wear when we go early in the summer or early spring, because it bothers our allergies both so badly. And I had a brand new package in there, so I had 2 of those, and that's what we've been wearing. So
Oh, good.
but
Yeah.
they're not comfortable.
Well, that's the best.
And it's
thing.
really hard with that metal thing right here for my glasses. It pushes it up,
Yeah.
and I'm looking through my bifocals, and it makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Another disadvantage being old. But I make it work.
Yeah.
Isn't it time to start?
Well, not everybody's here yet. That's what we're waiting on. You're the only one from Craighead so far, but it's about 5:02, so I'm expecting everybody to buzz in here any second now. Six people said that they were able to make it from Craighead, so
where's our
unless we've done
snack?
something wrong. Yeah.
Where's our snack, David?
Yeah, where's our food, David? You
I
should
think Angie was supposed to provide that for you, Janita.
Oh,
And I see a whole kitchen behind you,
Yeah, she's got a kitchen.
Janice. I'm sure there's got to be food in there somewhere.
I haven't been anywhere in 6 weeks. I'm about hungry, David. I need you to bring me some groceries.
I've been eating a lot of cereal, so what can I say?
oh,
Cheerios. Cheerios is good. I like Cheerios.
Cheerios are good.
I'm all good with that.
All I do is sit around and try to figure out what my next meal's going to be. I'm going to wait 200 before all this is over.
well,
Well, that seems to be our big
We have to
decision
click
every
on
day.
live.
Well, what do we want today?
yes.
'Cause there's not much else going on but
Apparently,
eating. So.
Nobody from Craighead has come in, except for Janice.
We don't have a quorum.
We don't. But we don't understand why nobody from Craighead has come in. So I don't know if. Oh, is there a time limit on this?
Well, it did say 5. Is that what did it say 5?
Is there a time limit?
Didn't say 5:30. You think they thought 5:30?
Yeah, 5 o'clock was when we were getting started, and I called everybody this afternoon. So I've talked to everybody within the last 2 hours
Yeah.
of them joining the meeting. So I don't understand why they're not able to come in, but I'm not in my office to get any calls or anything. I can go back and see if anybody's tried to call, but there's not a time limit on this, is there? For the Jitsi meet, anybody, because nobody from Craighead County has joined in except for Janice.
Me?
What? You're gonna re-forward it to
Oh, there's somebody.
Oh, we haven't sent it to the Craighead County people yet. Joe, you didn't send it? Oh, okay, there's Mr. Nichols.
Yep.
Hey,
Hello.
Mr. Nichols, how you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Hello. This is who? Oh, okay. Are you calling? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't understand. I think that we just forwarded it to everybody. Did you just forward it to everybody on the board? Yeah. You should be getting it any second. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't know that you lived in Ohio because this came up as an Ohio number. Okay. I got it. Oh, that's a nice place. And I lived in Ohio for a while. Okay. Yeah, I went to Kent State. That's where I got my library degree. So Yeah, so anyway, all right, so you should get it. We now have 6 people, so we're working on it, okay? Okay, good. See you soon. All right. Bye. Okay, people are coming. They just got I think, Mr. Mark, you got it separately because you had called in earlier, and so for some reason it didn't go out, but now the other Poinsett or the other Craighead County people are coming, so.
Yep. No, it was intuitive once I received the link, so that it was pretty easy.
Okay, good. Okay. It shouldn't, hopefully none of the meetings will take us too long if we can just get enough people to come in.
Yeah,
But I think 6 of the 7 people on our side are able to come, so
Okay.
hopefully they'll get it. And then
What do we need for a quorum?
we need 7 for the Crowley Ridge, and then if we have enough for Craighead County afterwards, we need 4 of the 7 people for Craighead County.
Okay.
Okay. So, and we have 3 people already from Poinsett County.
And
And
I'll
so,
pick it up. I'll pick it up if you
Let's
want.
see what it's back.
No, wait till tomorrow.
that's Jeannie.
Yeah, Jeannie Glover is the unknown person.
She's the GT.
Okay.
I don't know what that stands for.
Jeannie Tyronza, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to say good time because that sounds too scandalous. So I don't want to start any vicious rumors here. So
Well, a good time in Toronto is very calm. We don't even have a convenience store. The tornado got that.
all right, there's Mr. Rick Williams. Okay. All right.
I used to eat at Polly's Cafe in Taronza a lot. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do, but
Yeah.
the building's not even there anymore.
No. Yeah, I worked on a farm in that area, and we went there for lunch every day. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good place.
yes.
We do have a restaurant in town called Clara's Midway Cafe, and she's open for takeouts.
Oh, wonderful.
Or maybe Joe is the GT and she's real.
Yeah.
All right, we have 6. They're coming. We're coming. I have been to Tyronza once. I went to the museum there.
Yes,
Yes, it was a nice museum.
it is a nice museum. Really is.
All right. Hold on, I'm sorry. It's all new, this online. I wish we could all meet in person and just say hi and be good, but we're all staying safe, so it is what it is. This is what we have to do, and so we're okay with that.
We got 7, don't we?
I think we only have 6 really, because Joe is one of them, because he's the one that sent out the invite, so he has to open the meeting. He has to open the meeting, the room, right? And so I think we have 6 right now. Oh, Lily's said that she can't get in. She can't call in. Do you have the number? What's the ID number? What's that show up? This is the 69.
Since it's password, maybe. No, that would have been the invite. We have someone having trouble calling in. They want to be looking different about.
Would they need a password? I know, but would they need, yeah, the PIN number is the password, right? Yeah, okay, okay. I feel like somebody should be telling jokes at this point.
Go right ahead.
No, I don't really have any.
You can tell your favorites. Oh. It'll be the base joke, right?
Maybe the base joke is the longest. So Lily said she tried to call in and use that PIN, and she tried 3 times and it failed. I'm sorry, we're still having a little bit of technical difficulties here. We've used this program a lot internally, and it's never had any problems, but this is the first time we've tried to use it sort of externally. In other words, invited people in. We use a program called Slack, which is a sort of just a chat rooms that keeps record of everything that we say, and we can break it down into different little departments. But when the managers have been meeting, we've been meeting once or twice a week, and we just say join. You just click on it and join, and we haven't had any problems at all. Everybody's worked okay, so that's why we wanted to use it. So I don't understand why all of a sudden now we're not able to get more than the 8 people that we have. I don't think there's a limit to it or anything. It's a nice little program. So I do apologize, but if we can just hang in there for a little while longer, it shouldn't be that long of a meeting. But it's not the end of the world. Maybe we need to try it in a couple weeks if we can't get it to go in a little while here. We'll just try it again. So I'm sorry, Mr. Mark, that you came home where you were having fun to do this. So.
Oh, no problem at all.
Do we have a quorum?
And you just said you had was it a new baby that you have in the house?
Well, yes, he's 2.5 months old now.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
Wow.
you may hear him in the background among my other 4 children. So he's the number 5. So
Oh my
Oh,
God.
my goodness.
Wow.
yeah, we have a whole basketball team.
Yes,
Why
you
did
do.
you?
You're not getting a lot of sleep, are you?
David,
All right,
do
now
we
it
have
looks
a
like we
quorum?
might have somebody else that joined us.
Yeah, somebody's up there,
Yeah.
but no picture yet.
I just can't hear. Is that fine?
Can you hear me? I'm still trying to figure out how things work on this thing.
Okay, Lily, I think I can hear you now, Lily.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out the video part.
Oh, I think down at the bottom, there's a little camera that you check or uncheck. At least on our screen, that's what it looks like.
Yes, but that's how I unmuted, but let me see.
But that's okay. We get, as long as we can hear you. I actually think that we probably
Oh,
have
there
one.
she is.
Oh, there you go, Miss Lily. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Well, we actually have enough for a quorum if we want to have at least get the Crowley Ridge meeting.
How nice of them in the library, huh?
Yeah, we're kind of all spread out here, the 3 of us in our Shakespeare room. So yeah. Anyway.
I think that's only 5 feet apart, David.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So. All right, well, why don't we go ahead? There's only really 2 things to talk about, 2 or 3 things on the Crowley Ridge. And we can just knock those out and then be done. So Janice, if you want to call the meeting to order, and then I think we have to have a roll call, but I'll just call your names and then you can just say you're here or not, okay?
I didn't know I was the chair of Crowley's Ridge.
You are the chair of it all, yes.
Oh, okay.
You're the chair of the world.
Chair of the world, right, yeah.
I'd have dressed up more if I'd have known that.
Yeah, you can put it on business cards. It does sound impressive. I like it, so yeah.
Believe it or not, I just came back from the backyard. That was why I was trying to call in from the phone.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. David, I'm not sure I've got a list of all the people. You may have to call it out. I do.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so Miss Janice Griffin,
Present.
Dr. Jeannie Glover,
Present.
Miss Rhonda Davis is not present. Miss Janita Faulkner,
Present.
Mr. Kurt Hawkins is absent. Mr. Mike Johnson is absent. Mr. Mark Nichols,
I'm present.
Miss Marilyn Robbins Guar is absent. Miss Jean Passmore, I don't know if she dialed in or not. I think she's not here. Miss Judy Renicky,
Present.
Mr. Rick Williams,
Present.
and Dr. Lily Zane.
Present.
Okay, all right. You want me to go ahead, Janice?
No, David, I did not print out the agenda for Crowley's Ridge.
Okay. Well, we only have the board minutes from February 10th to present to you. If you want to, if everybody got a chance to read that over, we just have to have a vote to accept those in as the minutes.
This is a Cricket County word. I have both open. I read both.
This is the Crowley Ridge.
Okay, just want to make sure that
Yeah, the Crowley Ridge, which is short, so.
Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I'll make that motion to accept the minutes.
And you have to state your name, please.
Johnita Faulkner.
Okay.
Do I hear a second?
Yeah, Judy Renicky seconds the motion, please.
Okay.
So David, you're going to have to do the roll call then again of who's present if we're going to vote that way.
Well, let me ask if everybody will accept the minutes, and then I could ask if there's anybody that does not accept the minutes, and then everybody, I'm assuming that's present will say that instead of going through that again.
Can I ask a question? I wasn't present at that meeting, so that was why I didn't.
Yeah.
Am I still in the right position to support it?
So does everybody accept the minutes as presented?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Does anybody not accept the minutes as presented? Okay. So everybody that was present before will accept the minutes. Okay.
So motion passes.
Motion passes, yeah. And then the only other thing that we really have is the third quarter budget for the Crowley Ridge. And I didn't know if there was any questions. Everything's looking pretty good as far as from our point of view. Did anybody have any questions from the that I could answer?
Will this cut your funding any, you think, David?
I don't think it'll affect this year's budget, and I know that the budget for next year passed right before all of the shutdowns started happening and the virus started spreading. But I don't know moving forward whether they're going to go back and maybe take some of the state aid money away again. So it won't affect it for this year. I don't think we'll be good through June of this year, but I think starting in July of next year, we're going to have to really be careful and be conservative with our budget because they could. Somebody asked me, and I don't think any of the library's budget is in column A. I think all of it is in either B are in C, which means that I think some of it can be taken away again. And so, yeah, it could be a problem moving forward, but at least in terms of the end of this year, it shouldn't be a problem.
If it's in C, you're going to be in trouble probably.
Yeah, yeah. So we have lost money in the past, but it's based on per capita. And I understand. I'm sure there's going to be cuts all over the place, depending upon how we come out of this and everything like that. So we're just going to have to be careful. But we have, it looks like we should have an excess of $70,000 right now at the end of this budget. And if we don't spend all of the money in this budget, we'll have even more. So it could be that we'll just have to sort of rely on that more and just be more careful with some of the things that we're doing. This budget is pretty mean and lean anyway, and so there's not really much to cut out of it. But I'll just have to look and see what we can do. So, okay.
All right.
Lily Zane moves to accept the budget as presented.
Here a second.
This is Jeannie Glover. I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay? Motion passes.
Okay. And so the only other thing that I wanted to talk about, and just to sort of tell you what we were thinking, was terms of the reopening of the library. And I know that right now, a lot of our branches and we are doing a curbside service. And so we don't want to add to the spread of the virus. And so we are quarantining our material for a week. So once somebody returns something, we're setting it on a table and we're not touching it. We're just letting it sit there for a week. And everything that we've read, the virus dies in about 5 days or so. And so we've been doing a curbside service. We were doing it Monday through Friday. We found most people don't come on Monday, but we decided to do a Tuesday through Saturday. And we're not doing it every time. We're kind of staggering our times because then other staff members are coming in to do some internal work on the times when that part of the staff is not here doing the curbside service. In other words, we're trying to really keep our staff separated out. So everybody's working either from home or they're coming in for part of the time, but not everybody. For example, in the tech services department, that's a small area back there. There's only 5 of them, but it's a small area. So they're not all coming in at the same time to do their work, but they're still processing new material and things like that. Not all of children's are coming in. A lot of them are coming in sometimes, and then they're also doing videos at home. So if you've been following our Facebook, we've been uploading about 4 Facebook videos every day. They could be a how-to video from the information or adult services. They could be a story time. It could be just a book talk about promoting a book. It could be talking about a database that we have. So we're really trying to still get the word out. And I know that it's a terrible time, but what we find interesting, and we kind of are a little happy about this, is that people that normally are not using our digital services, we've had more than 400 new people sign up for library cards. And so they're discovering maybe other areas of the library that they wouldn't normally know about. And so we think that that's good. I mean, and so in that sense, I mean, I hated that the library's closed, don't get me wrong, but I think it's good that they're able to access other things and everything. So the next area that I think we might consider opening up, but I think it's going to still be a couple of weeks, is we've thought about sort of barricading off most of the library, but opening up the public computers and maybe having it so they come and use one every 3 or 4, trying to space people out so that everybody's safe. Maybe do it by appointment. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but we've talked about it. We are cognizant of the fact that some people that are trying to apply for unemployment, or some people that are trying to apply for employment, or some people that are trying to apply for other food stamps and things like that. And if they don't have a computer, we're one of the few places that has a free computer. But at the same time, again, we don't want to spread the virus. We're trying to protect our staff. We're trying to do all the things that we think is necessary. And so this is kind of where we're thinking. We haven't really thought about it much more than that. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen. I hear conflicting reports just like you do. Some people say that this is a hot spot. Other people say it's not a hot spot. They're testing more. The people that are catching the virus in our area keeps going up, and so then it makes me not want to open that much sooner, because if it keeps going up and it keeps going up, then I don't want to be part of the problem, right? And so it's kind of a balancing act. But I hope that sounds good and reasonable for all of you. That's kind of where our thinking is, and then we'll just kind of see how it goes. We pretty much have decided that we're not going to have any summer reading in June, I don't think. Maybe we can do some stuff in July, but I don't think that we're going to have any concerts on the lawn. We did get a substantial amount of money of sponsors for the summer reading. I think upwards of in-kind and cash, about $20,000. We have offered to give that back to everybody because we thought that was really the right thing to do. You know what I mean? I didn't want to take your money and then not offer it back to you if we're not really advertising and doing other things. But so far, everybody's been nice and they've said, no, you can keep the money. Everything's fine and everything's good. And so we'll try to use it for programming in the fall and other things like that. So, are there any questions with any of that at all, or does that all sound reasonable to everybody?
I guess, are you feeling any pressure to open from the city?
No, not at all. I haven't had anybody complaining. I had one lady call me because I think she really wanted to just get into the stacks to browse. But it really wasn't anybody official that's called me and said, hey, why aren't you open up? You know, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? I mean, the way we're doing it for the holds, you can either call up and we have people here 9 to 5, 9 to 6 every day taking phone calls. You can also go online and get a hold, and then we set up a time for you to come and pick it up. So it's really nothing that you can't access, except for maybe, like I said, the computers or possibly the genealogy. You can't access that. But even that, that Ancestry.com, I don't know if it's still available now, but there for a while, they actually opened it up for anybody, whether you were in the building or not. I mean, that was their decision. But even the library companies have really gotten on board and trying to help libraries out and offering things that they don't necessarily normally offer. So no, I haven't heard anything, but it's not, I don't know that I need necessarily an official vote. I'm not sure what you would vote on, but I'm assuming that I have the backing of the board to make sure that if I get any pressure, I'm going to basically say, well, the board knows about our plans, and this is what we're working towards. So.
I was just wondering if the city had an overall strategy of how they wanted to, I'll say, bring the city back into business and where we fit into their picture locally. I mean, the governor gives guidelines as to when he thinks certain things ought to be, and I just wondered if the city council had put out anything like that as it relates to Jonesboro and local government. I've been trying to keep up with the news as best as I can. I haven't seen anything from either the county or the city saying anything to that regard. I mean, and nobody, like I said, nobody's calling me up and like the mayor's not calling me and saying, how come you're not open? I think everybody's just trying to be apprehensive. I think there's probably not a lot of pressure on us in particular because we're not necessarily doing anything to help the economy. In other words, I understand why a lot of the government officials are trying to get the businesses going because people want money and they need the money to live and pay their mortgage and their rent and everything like that. But in terms of that, the library is not necessarily swaying that one way or the other. So we don't have that kind of pressure to open in that regard. So. Anybody else have any other comments that they like to make about that or how they feel? Or
y'all just stay safe and healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've ordered some masks for the
Amen.
staff. Tanya is a woman of many talents, and she's been making masks for people, and so so that's good.
Good.
And if any of you are bored and you want to make masks, Rick, Mark, if you want to make some masks, Anita, anybody, please feel free. We'll use them or pass them out. So yeah. In your spare time, Mr. Mark.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has lots.
So, I think that's all I had, though. So if we want to adjourn the meeting, I don't believe that we have enough for a quorum for Craighead County, though. I think we only have. Oh no, we do have enough for a Craighead County meeting. So all the Craighead people, if you could stay on, we can continue and have a Craighead meeting. But I think we need to adjourn the Crowley Ridge meeting. So.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
This is Rick.
This is Jeannie Glover. I move we adjourn the Crowley Ridge board meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Rick, I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Nay. Meeting adjourned.
Okay. Well, thank you all to the Poinsett people.
Bye. Take care.
Stay safe.
Everybody stay well.
All right. So I think now if we can call this meeting to order, and that would be still you, Miss Janice.
Okay. Let's call the meeting of the Craighead County Public Library, or the Jonesboro Public Library Board to order. I think the first business is the minutes from the February meeting.
If I could take the roll call though, just to be official, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Miss Janice Griffin.
Here.
Mr. Kurt Hawkins is absent. Mr. Mike Johnson is absent. Mr. Mark Nichols.
Here.
Miss Jean Passmore is absent. Mr. Rick Williams.
Here.
And Dr. Lily Zink.
Present.
Okay. All right. So now go, Janet. I'm sorry.
Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes of the February meeting?
Yes, I do.
Are there any discussion?
Do you want to vote for the February and the March meeting together? There's two different sets of minutes.
Okay, we can. Has everyone looked at the March minutes? Any discussion on the March minutes? Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes for the February and the March meeting?
This is Rick. I'll make a motion we approve the February and March minutes.
Do I hear a second?
This is Mark. I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Minutes are approved.
Okay.
David, you want to give the third quarter budget update?
Yep. Okay. So on page 4 is the third quarter budget. So it's really our first quarter for the year because we go January through December. So this is our first quarter. I think everything's looking fine. There wasn't really anything out of line or anything like that. As we're still doing fine. And of course, near the end of March, we really kind of stopped spending some things. So I know that probably by the end of the year, we'll be down a little bit maybe with the materials budget. But I think for the most part, I mean, we're trying to get all the best sellers still. We're trying to finish, doing things like that. But maybe some of the normal stuff that we might necessarily order, I don't know if we'll catch up or, when we come back. But other than that, I think everything's looking great. So was there any questions that you all had about that? Anything that jumped out at you or anything?
You want to go over the card eligibility policy? I believe that is next.
Well, we have to have a vote for the budget to approve the budget.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Do I hear a vote to approve the budget?
Yeah, you need a,
Do I hear a motion? Sorry.
it's all right. Nobody wants to make a motion.
This is Lily Zhang. I move that we approve the budget as presented.
Do I hear a second?
This is Rick. I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Budget is approved.
Okay. Really, so the next thing on the agenda is the card eligibility policy. We try to update these every 3 or 4 years, or 3 years. I think we do this one. The only thing that really changed is on page 6. What's in yellow there under confidentiality? It was really just the statute number. That's all it really was. We didn't change anything else in that policy that had been in existence before. So unless you guys want to change something, we just had to officially bring it before the board again. We like to keep up with these things. So,
Does any discussion about the card eligibility policy? Do I hear a motion to approve the change? That's not a change?
This is Rick. I make a motion, we approve the library card eligibility and cardholder responsibilities as presented.
Do I hear a second?
This
is Mark.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, this is Mark. I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Motion carries. Meeting room policy.
okay. So again, in yellow, the only things, anything in yellow is what was changed. I think we had put in that you couldn't have alcoholic beverages, of course, before, but I think that and the tobacco free were one line, and I think we were just trying to make it a little bit clearer, and we made it 2 lines. Is that right?
Arkansas law about alcohol on public property. I did not find that law, so I removed that it was a law, and I expanded out on the entire library property being tobacco free. Previously, it had just said that there's no smoking in the library building. So I expanded out on that. On the round room, I added in that it's not available for booking during summer months. That's a matter of practice. That's what we've been doing for
a long time, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I think. I don't know.
It just wasn't in the policy beforehand, so we wanted to make sure it was in the policy. And then on the page 10, we changed it. We had said that this room fit 15. And we've been telling people that it actually fits up to 20, so we just updated that.
But other than that, again, nothing else has changed from before. So we just were. Now this one gets changed. It looks like every 2 years. So after this, it will be updated again in 2022. But I just need as long as you're okay with it, I can answer any questions that you have. And if not, then I would just need a motion to accept this as well.
Do I hear a motion to accept the changes as written?
That we accept the changes as presented. I'm Lily Zhang.
Do I hear a second?
I'm Rick. I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Okay, so the last thing that we have is probably the thing that might take the longest, but we could do it sort of in groups. And so I'm going to let Tanya talk to you. She's the one that really worked on all the policies. So I'm going to let her talk to you about the portions in yellow that we changed. And then I think we probably could have a discussion on whether the library itself wants to go fine free or not. And this has been a big thing for the past several years in the library world. And again, you got a third document that was about a 10-page document that was talking about all the history of that and which places had gone that. And again, Tanya does a great job. She's the one that prepared all of that. So I will turn this portion over to her and let her talk to you.
So, yes, like he said, everything in yellow are the changes. On using library cards, we made some changes regarding how renewals are handled over the phone. This has been a matter of practice. So again, we just wanted to put it into policy. As many of you know, we have photo IDs added onto accounts. It just adds an extra layer of security. So that way we ensure that who is checking out with that card is in fact that person. So we've made a minor change there. We also, in terms of the item limits and the loan periods and the holds, we needed to add in information for the bookmobile and also for the Alzheimer caregiver kits. In terms of the caregiver kits, we wanted to match that to some of the other kit type of items that we check out, like the books in the bag. So by and large, we've matched those things. We have a bookmobile committee, of course, and we met and discussed term limits and item limits. And so you'll see those highlighted there in yellow. We decided in terms of holds that holds cannot be placed on bookmobile items. You can place a hold on an item at a branch and have it picked up at the bookmobile. But we don't want patrons coming to a brick and mortar library who's placed a hold on a bookmobile item. It just defeats the purpose. And then we also have it so that gateway card holders are not able to check out. We added in bookmobile items and Alzheimer caregiver kits. The caregiver kits, it's just because there are multiple items in that. So that would technically put them over the limit of how many items they can check out. And we talked about adding the bookmobile items to that because we felt that better fit the purpose of the bookmobile, to have that be available to county residents. And
Wait. So are there any questions at least about those changes, or do you have any comments about any of those? I mean, we just try to do reasonable things and just best practices, what we were already doing, just wanted to get it sort of down and official in a policy. Again, so if anybody were to give us a hassle or anything, we could just say, well, it's in the policy. So, okay.
then I was also just going to say, on the damaged items on page 15, we added in that we charge for damaged or scratched discs. We just didn't have that in the policy beforehand. It was probably just an oversight, so we added that in.
Okay. We're all good so far. And so in terms of the overdue fines, I think that I have brought this up to the board before, and I think that it was probably my fault that I wasn't as clear as I could have been. And so when we talk about fines at the library, they're literally the charges that we normally charge somebody when they're late in bringing an item back. Okay. We're not talking about letting somebody take an item out, never returning it, and no consequences. We're not talking about somebody that would take an item out and their dog chews it up and they bring it back and it's damaged. No, they're still responsible for that. We're still going to charge for those things. But we're just trying to make the library, I think, more user-friendly is what we're trying to do, and I think what a lot of libraries are doing. So I don't have the document that she made, but I know that a lot of the big libraries have been going to this. A lot of the small libraries have been going to this. And so what Tanya put down here on the bottom of page 15, you see in gray is what we charge now for all of our fees. If you look in the gray section, you'll see if it's a book and it's the maximum that we're going to charge you if you're late is $1. For a DVD, it's $4 and so on, okay? So what we kind of have three different proposals. So we have a proposal in blue that basically says that we're not going to charge any fines, overdue fines at all. So if you choose to do that, if the board chooses to pick that one, we would put that would take the place of what's in gray now, and we would just put that into the policy.
How much
Proposal
year,
Proposal B is just the same chart, but we've decided maybe we want to ease into it a little bit, and we just don't want to charge overdue fines for anybody that checks out something on the bookmobile. Because we are concerned that if a bookmobile comes by every 2 weeks and you miss it 2 times and you don't get there until the 3rd time, I would really hate to be charging them overdue fines, but that's another option. And then, of course, Proposal C would be pretty much the same chart that we already have now, only we would just charge $1 for anything that was late going to the bookmobile. So they were kind of the 3 different options that we had to present to the board.
how much money a year do we get on overdue funds?
Well, we don't have a very clear way of determining that exactly. The way that our ILS works, that's our catalog basically. It lumps together fines and fees. So you have the overdue fines and then the fees that are paid for lost or missing or damaged items. I just don't have a clear way to break out the overdue fines alone. I can tell you that in 2019, years 2020, we received about $26,000 in fines and fees. That amounts to approximately 0.6% of our income.
Yeah, it's a fairly small number, but yes, unfortunately, it's been driving me crazy for years, but our system just doesn't split that out. So I can't tell you exactly how much it is for fines. Like she said, it could be that you had a fine, you were late bringing something back and it was damaged, and all of that money, if we charge you $19 for the book, and then we charge you $4 or $1 for it because it was overdue, it'll show $20, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the $20 was all for the fees. It'd probably be a good guess that the majority of that money is probably in the fees and not the fines, because our fines aren't very much. We have charged for a long time more for DVDs, because on average, our DVDs circulate almost 12 times in a year. Every one of our DVDs, they circulate a lot, as opposed to a book. A book will only circulate 2.3 times, 2.4 times. But of course, we have so many more books that level goes down. I mean, that's not breaking it up by bestsellers or anything like that. But so for a long time, we wanted to get our DVDs back faster, so we put a heftier fine on that, so we could get it to have motivated people to bring it back faster, so we can check it out again, right? But I admit that our circulation of DVDs, I think, is going down as more and more people are streaming, and there's more and more streaming services, and so more of that has gone down. In fact, all of our circulation numbers have gone down more. We've gone up a little bit in our digital, like ebooks and e-audiobooks, e-material, but it hasn't made up the difference of the circulation going down. But I think, and Tanya will tell me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of the places that ended up going fines free, however, they saw their circulation numbers go back up again. So again, that would be sort of a motivating. And then we're also afraid that we're hitting sort of adversely the low economic places. In other words, if you already are having a hard time feeding your family, and then you have a late fee on top of that, then it sort of exacerbates the problem. But again, I wish I could tell you for sure that all the people living in this level or with this income or something like that, it's hitting them more than some other places. I don't have that data. I can't get that data. So, but I think there's the libraries that have found that to be true, though. Yeah, especially the bigger libraries that have a branch in an area that's maybe hit harder economically.
So, David, if we decided to go down this route, and 6 months from now, we could look back at the numbers and say, my question is, are we tracking the numbers where we can say, yes, going fine free, really people return the books and at the same time, or maybe even sooner, or we could tell that exact number of how that affected things. Is that correct?
I think there are some things that we can count, and then again, our system, our library system, is not the greatest necessarily. So sometimes we want statistics and we just can't generate the statistics.
Yeah.
We are actually in the process. We were in the process of trying to get a new and cheaper and better ILS system when all of this went down. We had sent out an RFP. We were getting proposals in. We had a place online that, yeah. So if we can ever get to that point, yes, in answer to your question, we hope that we would be able to track this.
Yeah.
And say, yes, our circulation has gone up. I'm sure that we can probably track and tell you that we're getting things back faster. I'm pretty sure we can probably find an average number of days that things are checked out and things like that. But again, I can't do anything about the money necessarily. I can't see how that, the only thing that we'll be able to tell is if we do this, for example, you'll know that next year, all the money that we collected were specifically for fees. But not any for fines, but because we're taking that out of the equation. But I won't know that until sort of after the fact how much that was, right?
One thing concerns me a bit, though, is because of all this economic situation we're in now, is this a time for us to get less money for the library? Just a thought.
Yeah, it could be that we can hold off. I can certainly understand that. Yeah, that's true. But I don't think it generates so much money for the library, but it could be a bad optic maybe for the public. I can understand that now. But you guys, just so you know the reality from a money point of view, there's just not that much of our budget. But I do understand that. And maybe the thing, I'm not trying to talk myself out of it because I really do want to go fines free because I think it'd be better for our public in general. And I think it would cause more good feeling with the public. And I think more people would be apt to come back and use the library. We also worry about kids that have fines and now they can't get material that they need and their parents won't pay for the fine and things like that. And so I worry about that as well. Hey, this is why I have a board for you guys to make these decisions. That's why I'm bringing it to you.
It's like that. We're kind of teaching your responsibility when we do this. But I'll go with whatever the will of the board is. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Isn't the main purpose in this to see if the impact on our circulation is positive?
Yes, for us that would be the thing, is to make sure that our circulation would hopefully go up.
And that being the case, let's say that a year from now, kind of piggybacking on a comment made earlier, a year from now, if it doesn't do that and we see that there's some kind of issue, there's nothing to prevent us from just reverting back to the current policy, is there?
No, not at all. And I will say a secondary thing that it would actually also cause is maybe we'll get some material back that people are holding because they know that they're late and they know that if they can't pay the fine, in essence, that would actually save us money because if it's still in good shape, then it doesn't, like if you check out the James Patterson book and then you never bring it back, now you have a fine. You're either embarrassed to bring it back or you don't want to pay the money to bring it back or for whatever reason. I've got to now buy another copy of that because that's a popular item. I've got to buy another copy at some point to replace that. It could be that if I can get people if we go fines free, maybe we'll find that people are more willing to bring the stuff back. I know that sounds sort of counterintuitive, but maybe they're willing to bring it back and then it actually saves us money because we don't now have to buy another copy of it. Right. So it would be those two things. It would be to raise circulation, but it would also be hopefully to get some of our items back again.
And there's still repercussions, I suppose. Let's say we do take away the fines, but then they run the DVD and they haven't returned it, and they come to get another one, and you say, well, I'm sorry, there's still this DVD you have checked out. You really can't run another one until you bring this overdue one back. There still can be some repercussions in there. Is that correct?
Yes, in other words, and so right now what happens is you check out a DVD, you have it out for a week. If you're late by a week, then we send out a friendly reminder telling you that, you have this checked out and you need to bring it back and this is going to be the fine. And then I think a week or two after that, we send out a final notice that basically says, hey, this DVD, apparently you must have misplaced it or lost this, and you're going to have to pay $20 to replace this DVD. So once we have a threshold, I think, of $3.99. So once you owe more than $3.99 to the library, you can't check out anything else until you get back down to the $3.99. So if they take out something and they keep it out for a long enough period of time, there will be that charge on their account until they bring the item back. But now what happens now is they bring the item back. They would have to, if they bring the item back and it's in good shape, then they don't have to pay for the item, but they still have to pay for the fine. And if we go fines free, what would happen is they would just bring the item back. And if it's in good shape and we accept it, then there wouldn't be any charge. And then they would be allowed to check something else out. That is correct. It's not like a carte blanche where we're just letting somebody take something out and they can keep it for a year and they can just keep taking more and more. No.
So all the other policies still remain in place, and it's basically like a waiver of the fines, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Does someone want to put a motion on the floor?
I'll make a motion that we accept proposal A.
Do I hear a second?
This is Lily Zhang. I second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay. So I think what I need a motion now for the lending policy with all of the changes in yellow, plus that you have wanted to also include proposal A as part of the policy, right? That's really what
Yes, if you can combine the two, that's what I intended. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Is that what you intended? Is that what you guys all thought you voted on? If that's what you all thought you voted on, that's fine. That's okay. Now you can do it again. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. I just wanted to be really crystal clear that you're voting for all the changes in yellow plus proposal A to be all part of the new now lending policy. Okay.
That's what I thought we were doing, but
Rick, can you reword your motion as accepting the changes in yellow and blue?
And blue, yeah, okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lily, do I hear a second?
Yes, and that's the one I second.
Okay. Now, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, so we will make those changes and then get those out. So, okay. And then I think that's all I had. Did we have anything else? Did we have anything else we needed? Oh, I should give you an update if you get a chance to swing by. Our garage for the bookmobile is coming along quite nicely. It's a little bit more metal looking than I guess I anticipated. I thought it would be a little bit darker gray than the silver, but John, the architect, said that over time it'll gray out is what it is. It'll take a little while for some oxidation to happen, I think, and stuff like that. We're waiting to see what it looks like when they put the lights in, because if you remember, the idea was that even though it was closed, we put that screening on it so that you could see the bookmobile at night and it would look nice and it would shine on the logo of the bookmobile and everything like that. And so but they pretty much finished all the concrete work. I think they still have to do the final driveway into it. They did the electrical. They got rid of all of our ugly transformers that were there, and they made some nice modern transformers. And hopefully this will help our electricity moving forward instead of everything tripping all the time. And so yeah, so it's all been good. I think we're down to the doors and everything. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you, today they delivered the furniture for the Brooklyn branch. And so that's exciting. So they already set up the front desk, and they set up some of the tables for the computers and everything. And then starting tomorrow, we're going to go, and some of our people are going to work on setting up the shelving. And then from there, then we're going to start putting material in there, and we still have to hire somebody, but it's all looking good. So we're moving forward with Brooklyn. So that's exciting as well. So, okay.
Do you have a target date on opening the Brooklyn branch?
No, I mean, we had a target date for before summer. We were shooting for it originally, I think for April or May 1st, but we kind of put the brakes on things. And so I've talked to one of the places in town, and I already have a copier fax machine printer already set up, and they're all good to go. It won't take us too long to order did we already order the computers for Brooklyn branch? Oh, so we already have the Brooklyn branch computers here and waiting. We have it all ready to deploy there. What I really wanted to do, because it's kind of in an isolated area, I really wanted to, we pretty much have finished the graphics for the front window. If you've gone by there, it's a big front glass window front. And I didn't really want to put too many expensive things in there until we're trying to go for one of those films where you can't see in very well, but when you're inside, you can see out really well. And so I really kind of want to put that up first, and I want to put a couple cameras in first, and then I think we'll deploy the computers and some of the other things and sort of move in that direction. And then there'll be little things I'm sure we've forgotten that we need, and we'll see what we need and signage, and we'll work on all that. So, but again, we'll just open it as we can. But I know that they're excited up there in Brooklyn for that, and we're excited to start that as well. So,
David, have you ever thought about having the lawn concerts in September, or you just want to save the money for other things?
One year when I first came here, we did a second series. We did a jazz and blues concert in the last 2 weeks of August and the first 2 weeks of September. And even though those concerts are from 6:30 to 7:30, the last two concerts, the groups were playing in the dark. And that's the problem. It gets dark too fast. And so unless we started it earlier, and then the other problem is that that's when school starts. And so unless we had them on the weekends, a Tuesday night we can't do it too late on a Tuesday night, because then if the families want to come, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, the only thing that we thought about having, when the library finally opens, we've actually thought about having one big long day of just like maybe 3 or 4 of the bands, and having some food vendors come and just having some fun, and just sort of a celebration of the fact that maybe we're free of all of this mess and we're sort of opening up, but I don't know whether we're going to do that or not. So we'll just have to see how that goes. So, yeah.
Well, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
You guys love the meeting so much, nobody wants to adjourn. I like it.
This is Lily Zhang. I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Do I hear a second?
This is Rick. I'll second that.
Meeting adjourned. Everyone stay safe.
I thank you all very much. We shouldn't have another meeting until August, but hopefully this will go a little smoother the next time. And so, but I thanks for all your patience and everything like that. And you can always reach out to me if you have any questions or anything like that. Okay. So
hopefully we'll get to sit in the library.
Have a good summer.
The what?
Hopefully we get to sit in the library for the next meeting.
Yeah, hopefully we will. Yes.
Okay, everybody take care. Stay well.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my middle girl brought me this just now.
Oh, that's nice. All right.
Bye.